Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Hebrew Bible. I used the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits and pieces of testimony from the various prophets, beginning with David and ending with Malachi. And the prophecies of David is in the book of Psalms, by the way, just so you understand. And um, I used these sacred texts to put together the book of Zion, which is the prophecy of Israel left to us 3,000 years ago. And the book of Zion is a book of instruction as well as prophecy. It foretells the events which will occur when God returns to mankind. It instructs us how to make that happen. That's how it is prophesied to be. Someone, namely me, took the time and the energy to read the book as it was written and to find those key passages which were there to lead you to the truth. Passages like, let me see, Isaiah says that we should take the lines and precepts, scattered bits and precepts, and put it together. Who will put it in order for me, he asks. Well, I volunteered to put it in order. So I took the lines and precepts that were scattered amongst the texts and I took them out. And then I used them kind of like a jigsaw puzzle and I put them together. And what I came up with was 2020, the year 2020. Everything that's happened this year is directly in correlation to the prophecy. We are actually living out the prophecy as we speak. And it's not just that we're living out the prophecy, my friends. We're at the end. We're at the final step before we take our big step to bring the gray to earth. There's only one event foretold in the Bible that happens between now and the rise of Zion, and that is the sword destruction of the northern kingdom brought together from the sides of the earth, which can only be the United States of America. Because no matter how great a kingdom Russia is, it's only made of Russians. It's not made of a diverse people taken from the ends of the earth. That is America. And America is in the final stages or the beginning stages of its end. What Donald Trump is doing is literally fulfilling prophecy. He is setting the stage for a coup which will turn into a revolution. There is going to be a civil war here in America this winter, I'm pretty sure. And it will be devastating. And I really don't see how we could possibly get out of it. Because every scenario that I can foresee ends the same way. The white supremacists will not go down without a fight. They have a leader in the White House, and they do not intend to let him be taken from them. They want America Trump's way. And they're going to fight to ensure that that's what happens, or that they are not allowed to live to see it any other way. It's do or die for them. Their prophets have failed them. Their scenario has run into a brick wall of reality. They can only attack. And that's what they're going to do. And that is as it must be. Because the wonder and beauty that is Zion cannot begin until the hypocritical nation of America destroys itself. And it will be a sore destruction. And we will be destroying ourselves. And this is coming at the perfect time in our timeline. Everything, believe it or not, is as it's supposed to be. I'm publishing peace. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it, but that's beside the point. I'm still doing the deed, which is everything, which is what I've been doing all along. You see, this for me, this started in 1979 when I said a prayer to the God of, very specifically, to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Hebrew God, the ancient Israeli God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, by name. Now, I was a Christian at this time, born into the Lutheran faith, and I had been crying to Jesus for months, but Jesus did not answer, and I was going crazy. I was literally losing my mind because of sexual abuse. I was 15 years or 16 years old, and I was remembering horrific childhood rape. Call it molesting if you want, people, but rape is rape. It doesn't matter if you're 3 or 59, it's still rape. And that rape was destroying me. And I had a vision. I saw myself on a ledge, a cliff, overlooking an abyss that I knew was insanity. And I screamed out to God in the name of Isaac, in the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I cried myself to sleep. And I dreamed of a man that I had forgotten in all my suffering. The one man that had never hurt me, who had never raped me, who was not part of the horror show that was in my brain. And I woke up and I remembered him. For the first time in 9 months, I remembered that he even existed because he wasn't a part of the horror show that was in my head. And I went into total despair because he was 1,000 miles away and I had not spoken to him in 2 years. But a month later, I was in his arms, and it was the most beautiful event of my life. He made love to me that night. I don't even know how many times. But every touch that he touched me with, every word that he spoke, healed my soul and stopped the horror show in my head. And that one night of love was enough to sustain me from 1979 to 1988. And through that whole time, I began living a cycle of hell. um, I call it my passage. And my life became this repetitive classroom where I would be fed information. I would be I would live through scenarios that illustrated the points of the lesson I was being taught, and then I would be tested. And at the time of testing, what I call my testing time, everything goes to hell. And I mean everything. I lose my home. I lose all my possessions. I have no money. I have no means. And the pot goes away. And my life is just total madness and chaos. And this, whatever moral issue I've been learning through this whole time, is displayed. And I have to answer questions by doing things in my life. I have to make decisions. Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And each question, each decision I make is a question on a test that I'm being given. And then the chaos stops and I'm graded. And then it reboots itself and my life picks up again. And I start to recuperate from whatever losses I've had. And whatever good answers that I have given are given to me now. I never have to answer those questions again. That is a given. And the pot comes back, and then my life picks up again, and the insanity goes away because I've been dumped again. It's like, so they dump another load of shit into my head, and then my life picks up, and I go on with another lesson. Now, any questions that I might have gotten wrong in my prior testing will reappear in this new scenario, whatever my life takes on next. And so I was given this, it was like I was in school, but I was in the school of hard knocks. And every time, it's like every time I would pick up the pieces and start my life over again and start learning new things that this new information gave me. So my life would become more complex because of these different aspects of life that were questions that were given to me. And I would have to answer them. And, I'd have to figure out what they were trying to teach me. And then I would have to go through this testing time where everything would go to hell. And that is where I'm at right now. But this time, I'm not alone. It seems like all of the world has gone to hell with me. And all of the questions that I've had, I don't have any questions to answer anymore. It's like those when I came out of prison. I came into that last testing time. But now the whole world is being tested with me. Because my hell is now the world's hell. And it started with a prayer. And it's going to end in Zion. That is the hope, anyway. It's like when I started this whole thing, I started this with one thought. I want my pain to end, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help others in their pain as a payment. I made a deal with God. Keep me from going crazy, give me somebody to love, and I will help you in the pain and suffering of others on earth. Easy said, harder done. Well, with that prayer and the dream and that night of passion with the chosen one, I was given everything I needed to do this. Now, of course, I still don't have my love, and because the passage is such that I have to be tested, one of those tests is he even alive to fulfill his part of this prophecy? Have I already failed because he's dead in a grave? Or if he is dead and in a grave, does that mean that I really lost? Or can I do this with him in the grave? Well, everything I do is by prophecy because the prophecy is my textbook. That is the parameters of what I'm doing. And yeah, it's if he is dead, he can still be my husband, but only in spirit. He's still in my head, which is what the prophecy says. He's in my head. Yeah, he's telepathic too. We talk telepathically. And if that's all there is, well, then that's all there is. But the prophecy reads like he's alive. And it reads like when we get to the tents, then he's going to come back to me and be the king of Zion. But I don't know because I'm still being tested. Now, when a year or two ago, oh well, next time. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and let that be your happiness. Make that your guild choice. Stay happy and high if you use drugs. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I went through hell for that right. For you. Just read my books. I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, I'm going to say later now because I love you way too much to ever say goodbye.